Hey y'all, I'm down here at Marshall. I just walked up. Not quite sure what's going on yet, but I have one question. One question I'd actually like to ask you. Can I ask you a question? Why is it that when black police we don't see you, but when we gather to protest we do?
We're just here to pray for the community.
I just asked a specific question.
We're here to pray for the
Why didn't we see you yesterday? Why didn't we see you? Why did you just come into town? This has been happening for years and years and years all over the country. Why do we see you now that we show up in power to protest? Speak.
We're here to pray.
You're not just, we're not here to pray. What are you here to pray for?
Peace.
Why weren't you here? Peace. Peace to who? Why aren't you at the police department praying for peace? Why aren't you asking them to stop the violence? We're not the ones inciting violence and not living in peace. We're peaceful people. Why do you show up now? Why didn't you show up when we're being murdered, when we're being hung from trees? Why don't you show up then? Why do you show up when we stand in power to protest? Who are you here to protect?
I'm here to protect anyone.
You're not here to protect anybody? What's your interest?
We're here to pray for people. We're here to give the word.
Pray for which people? Pray for which people?
For every.
So why aren't you down there? Why aren't you at the people that are causing the problem? Why aren't you speaking to the people that are causing? There's 2 police officers standing right there. Every parking lot has a police officer in it. Plenty for you to do. You can go home now. We don't need you here. We don't need you here. You've already given us enough lies. You've already given us enough lies. We've already heard your lies. We didn't see you last night when they were pushing up against us. When they were putting tear gas in our eyes, in our babies' eyes. We didn't see you last night. Where were you? Where were you when that man got shot by 4 police officers in his car for reading a book? Where were you? Why haven't we seen you? Why are we just now seeing these orange vests when we gather to protest? Where have you been in Charlotte, North Carolina? Billy Graham Library, Billy Graham radio station. Where have you been? The one I've tithed to. Where have you been? You don't even advertise with us. There's no black advertisement on your radio station. All of your billboards are in white neighborhoods. I know that for a fact. No, I don't want to come see anything. I don't care what his color is. Neither is Barack Obama.
You brought the color in.
It is about color. I didn't bring it in. It is.
It's not about the Lord.
It is about color. Yes, it is. Do you think God doesn't see color?
There's no color.
If you don't think God doesn't see color, then you think God is dumb as shit.
We're all created.
Don't you see color?
Equal.
Don't you see color?
All created.
What color is that tree? What color is that tree?
God loves you.
God loves you too. And God loves me enough to tell you the truth. You can go home. You're wasting your time here. You're a distraction to what we're trying to do. And we don't need you. We needed you when we were being hung from trees. We don't want your spiritual support. We want truth.
We didn't do that.
We want truth. Now, what's the truth of the matter? What's the root cause of what happened yesterday?
The truth is that God loves you.
What is the root cause of what happened? Because if you're not willing to dig into that and really expose why black people are being killed in Charlotte on a regular basis, and every single person that was shot and killed by police last year in Charlotte was black, go home.
That's what this is all about.
Go home.
That's what this is all about.
You're not doing anything. We can see your lie. We can see it. Notice no one is talking to you except me. He does love me. He created me enough that he created me before you. He absolutely loves me. He loves you too.
That's what we want.
He loves you enough to give you breath and allow you to stand here in your lie. But we see you, Billy Graham, Rapid Response Team. You giving CPR tonight too? Were you out there giving us CPR when we were throwing up from tear gas for no reason? We pose no threat to the police. Were you out there then? Prayers don't mean anything. You gonna fight with us? You gonna stand with us? You gonna be at the city council meeting holding up flags with us? Your prayers go to the sky and bounce back down. We know better. You're here for show. That's why you have on, I hear you. I hear you. That's why you got an orange vest. Who would you be without those orange vests? Would we know who you were? No. Go home. Y'all, I'm gonna sign off for a second and catch my breath.